When in Stockholm, you always have to have a rain jacket. It's pouring rain. I'm hungry. Let's get going.
Coming down really hard now.
So I just finished having breakfast. So now I've got a couple classes coming up. If you don't know, I am an English teacher, so I teach English online. I'm a freelancer, so I kind of do my own schedule and stuff. So I'm trying a new spot out today. When I booked the place, I thought it had a desk, but they gave me one that didn't have a desk. What were you thinking? I was actually in the wrong room originally. I'd gotten a couch. I still managed to get semi-comfortable, but this, much better setup. Let's talk about accommodation, because when you're being a digital nomad, you want to be comfortable, especially if you're going to be working in the room that you're in. So for me, that's definitely the case, because I did look at some co-works and there are plenty around the city, but I could only find 2 that had daily passes. And I'm doing kind of what I like to call a nomadic sprint, where I'm staying in one place for a few days and then I move on to the next place. Most of the things that I could find for a private room where I had the ability to work, it was always between 50 and 100 per day, and it's totally doable. Let's talk briefly about public transit. It's really accessible, very easy to use, and you can get pretty much anywhere around the city in, I would say, in about 15 minutes or less. But actually, I'm exaggerating a little bit. You don't say. What I ended up doing today was I got a 24-hour access card. So that means I can ride as many times as I want within that 24-hour period. It was 18 euros. If you only want a single ticket pass, that's just about 2 euros. And of course, you can also rent bikes. There's tons of places to do that. They also use scooters pretty much all over town. I've seen signs saying that you cannot ride on the sidewalk, but of course you can ride on the bike path, which is nice. I'm not quite sure about prices, to be honest. Scooters kind of freak me out. So I had one skateboarding incident, and I think I never again will put 2 feet on something that moves with wheels. Maybe a surfboard or a snowboard. That's probably it. So you know how in travel videos on YouTube you always see somebody like delicately taking B-roll of their beautiful food, talking about how delicious it tastes. But you know what? I've noticed, especially this trip, I don't do that. You know why? Because usually by the time I get my food, I'm starving. So I'm actually gonna show you the food, and I'm gonna tell you what it tastes like, because I never do that. Even though I'm starving. How does one approach this? Oh my goodness. Looks like it's got pickles. I love pickles. Mayo. I guess some faux meat. Fried chicken faux meat. Let's try. Ooh, it smells like garlic bread. This is life. This is when you wake up on a cold Sunday and you have the fire going and you're just cozy on a warm couch with your blanket. So good. You gotta check this place out if you come. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this. Without you here. Without you watching me. I'll spare you. Finally, my belly is full. That was so good. So what I did do while I was here is I kind of mixed up when I would eat out and when I would make my own food. 30 euros.
I had to try some berries because they're from Sweden.
So just for me, that lasted 4 or 5 meals and then some snacks. And I found a little crack in the system. So there are a lot of places that offer deals when you go during a certain period of time. So I had delicious Indian food. I went at lunchtime, I think it was like 1 p.m. Instead of paying 20 euros for a meal, it was 12. So in general, your meal could range anywhere from 8 to 25 euros, depending on if you get a drink. When I do go fika, that can also range from anywhere from 3 to 10 euros. And if you don't know what fika is, check out this video here where I explain it. The first time that I visited Sweden. When it comes to what to do here, there's tons of options. So there's literally something for everybody. You've got your typical touristy things, but you don't need me to tell you that. You can go check that out on TripAdvisor or Lonely Planet, whatever it is. In my personal opinion, one of the best things to do here is just to walk around, especially in the old town. There is a good craft beer scene in Sweden, if you're a hipster like me. I found that people are very curious, not just the locals, but even the people who are visiting. So I made some really cool friends like Tyler, who's also got a YouTube channel, so go check him out. I'll put a link in the description for you. Really cool guy. He's got some really nice raps and he's traveling around Sweden right now. So it's really nice to meet you, Tyler. I met a lovely little family from the Netherlands, and so they were traveling here, and Lawrence just so happened to be a professional photographer, in my opinion. And so I had a little mini photo shoot. So thanks, Lawrence, and it was so nice to meet all of your family. So you never really know what you're gonna find here. It's incredible. When I'm in places, I really like to try different experiences, so that's exactly what I did here. Alright, so I'm in the dollar shop right now in Galastan, and I am going to try and paint one of these. I'm starting with this. This is a dollar horse. Let's see how it goes. I've got an audience. I feel a bit awkward right now. Yeah, this is not easy. I'm still at it. It's been about an hour and a half and it's going well. I'm not very good at it. There are a lot of curves, and the gentleman here, he was telling me that normally to make a Dalarna horse it takes 2 weeks, and they have several different styles, and I'm doing it in acrylic right now, but they do it with oil paint. And traditionally it doesn't even start from the painted horse, of course. It starts from actually carving the wood. Traditionally it's something that fathers would make for their children. It gives you a really great appreciation for the work that goes into this. Alright, so 2 hours later, I finally finished. This is the beauty. Definitely have a lot of work to do, because this is what the experts do, the professionals. Amazing master teacher, thank you so much. And yeah, I highly recommend coming and checking this place out. It's just like this beautiful little shop by a local company here, so thank you. All in all, I really enjoyed my stay in Stockholm. My stay wouldn't have been what it was without my amazing friend Neil. So thanks so much, Neil, if you're watching. You're an absolute legend. I wish I could have spent more time, but there's a big adventure coming up. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on an island.